Hello everybody, this is Jacob Nolly, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to update a job specifically with custom fields inside of our ServiceTitan Zapier app. So when we're talking about custom fields in ServiceTitan, these are basically any fields that you've designed in ServiceTitan that are on like a customer, a job, a location, a technician, an employee, an invoice, etc. A couple of the key concepts with custom fields, some of the major benefits is that they basically allow you to inject information into a record that ServiceTitan doesn't just have by default. With their API, some of the major problems with it, though, is that to do with permanence of those custom fields when you're updating the object and actually pulling in the dynamic options when we do have them. So some of the two major drawbacks of the ServiceTitan API is that one, when you update a custom field, if you do not return all of the existing custom fields with an object, it will erase all of the values associated with that object that you didn't pass back in. So like, let's say you have 5 custom fields, 4 of them are filled out on a job, and you pass in the 1 extra custom field as like an update, it will erase the value of the other 4. This is obviously really bad because you want to keep that permanence across the objects. One of the major ways that we solve that inside of our Zapier application is through a custom fields object. And basically what we do is we stringify, which means we just wrap everything in quotation marks that comes in the custom field object when a job or customer or whatever is returned. When you're updating that same record, we actually allow you to pass that field back in, and it keeps all of those values consistent. So basically, the idea is if you change any of those values, it will update it appropriately. But if you don't change one of those values, it'll keep them consistent. So when we send that object back to ServiceTitan, we're actually returning everything that was already there. All you have to do that is you'll see this custom fields object at the bottom of any of your update events like jobs, customers, locations, etc. And all we're going to do is we're going to just pass in the custom fields object, and you can see job custom fields object. We're just going to nab that, and there we go. That's all you got to do. And it will keep all of those job custom fields consistent across the board and not erase any of them. The second major issue is actually pulling in dynamically all of the custom fields associated with the record. And this is actually a major problem because ServiceTitan doesn't allow you to actually access any of the custom fields inside of ServiceTitan dynamically. So I can't pull a list from ServiceTitan of all of the job custom fields, all the customer custom fields, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And where this is a major problem is in the fact that I can't just have dynamic fields here for you to populate. So how do we do that? Well, we actually use a concept called dynamic input fields, which basically allows us to make an API call on a record and pull in all of the custom fields on it. What we're doing here is we're taking a job ID from ServiceTitan and going and getting all the custom fields on it. This is where we run into a second problem. Inside of ServiceTitan, custom fields do not show up on a record if they have not yet been populated. So now, how are we going to get around that? So basically what we recommend is for anything that you have custom fields on, whether it be a customer, location, job, invoice, etc., you create a Zapier object of that inside of ServiceTitan. And basically what that allows you to, and then basically what you will do is populate all of the custom fields on that object so that when we pull it into here, we can actually have the entire list to dynamically populate. Now I'm over here inside of ServiceTitan and I'm on our call booking screen. And one of the major things that we're going to do here is we're going to create all of our Zapier objects. And so basically we're going to create a Zapier customer, Zapier location, and Zapier job. And really the whole point of all of these is literally just so that we can populate the custom fields. We want all the fields populated so that we can grab that ID value and be able to dynamically pull in our values. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over here to the call booking screen, create a new customer, and I'm just going to call this Zapier custom fields. And then what I'm just going to do is 1234 Smith Street, just something super random. We'll just go ahead and put it in manually, Smithville. And then we'll just grab a random one of those. We will put in a random phone number, 123-456-8910. Then we'll put in a random email, so smith@noreply.com. Residential, great, create customer. Okay, so now we have our Zapier custom fields customer. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. We're going to go to our edit pencil here. We're going to go down all the way to our custom fields. This one does not have any, so we don't really care. So we're going to go ahead and move past that. We're going to go to our location. And basically what you'll do is anytime that you make a new one of these records, you'll come in here and you'll just populate whatever the custom fields are. So we don't have any location custom fields. Great. So now we're actually going to come in here and we're going to create a job off of this location. So we're going to grab this location. Happy about that. We're going to create just a random job type. We'll just call it just anything really, doesn't really matter. Just going to come here with all of these things. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually just put this way into the future, just because we don't want it to show up on any kind of dispatch board or anything like that. Grab a random arrival window. No technicians necessary. We won't send a booking confirmation, nor will we require the customer to make a signature. And we'll go ahead and book this job. Did you click the call bubble? Yes. Okay, book job. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to immediately cancel this job. And what we're going to do is just for the cancel reason, we're going to do for Zapier. We're going to click apply. And what we're going to do now is we're going to come in here to edit the job. We're going to go all the way down to our custom fields. So as you can see, we've got a few here. And so we're just going to grab a random for all of these. And we're just going to click save. Great. And so now that we've saved that, it's going to take just a second, but now all those custom fields are populated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up into the URL and I'm going to grab the ID number of this job. And I'm going to go back into Zapier and show you what we do on that side. We are back over here inside of Zapier, and you'll see here that I'm going to go ahead and paste. So we have currently none of our custom fields are listed. And basically what we're going to do, like I said before, is we're going to put in our job ID we just created. It's going to go grab all the custom fields on it, and it's going to display them as inputs so that we can dynamically fill them. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there. It'll take a second to load. And then there you go. So now all of our custom fields from the jobs are available as inputs. It's just going to let you know a few things. One of the major things is if you have choices enabled on the custom field, if you pass in a value that is not one of the available choices, it will error. In addition to that, some of the different types of inputs inside of ServiceTitan require like Boolean, like true, false, or a string, which is text, or a number. If you have any of that specifically selected, you must follow those rules when you are interfacing with those custom field types. So if you don't, it will error. But there you go. That's just kind of how it works. So basically between these two pieces, this custom fields object workflow is going to help us not overwrite any existing values. And down here, this is going to allow us to be able to input a specific value without overwriting what we're trying to create for a specific custom field. These two workflows together basically allow us to edit custom fields inside of ServiceTitan without causing any problems.